Come fly with me, come fly away. Because in this video, I'm looking at the SeekReal Airship IEMs. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? It's David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So yeah, let me tell you about the Airship here. First of all, it features the latest gen 10mm carbon nanotube diaphragm, or CNT diaphragm, and the price is $179. Comes in this pretty funky little box with, I'm not sure what's going on there. You've got, by Airship, I guess they're meaning some kind of UFO on the back here. You got an image of the earphones and a bit of a blurb there, but enough with the box. Let me get to what's inside. First of all, you get a pretty nice case. It is pretty sweet. Not the most pocket friendly case, but it's semi-rigid and it looks sweet. So you kind of get some nice protection for your IEMs and you get a nice case to boot. Let's pull out the Airship now because look at that. I was not expecting these to be so small. Just for comparison's sake, let's have a look at the FIO FH3, which is a reasonably small IEM, but you can see, yeah, the Airship is a small little earphone. And it's also really comfortable. It's made out of aluminium alloy, of course. It's nice and lightweight, but it's got a little bit of heft to it, so it feels pretty premium. Thanks to these sort of ripples or ridges on the faceplate, it doesn't get too messed up by fingerprints, which is a bonus. Now, a quick look at the cable here. Nothing special. It's not terrible. It's pretty good actually. It handles all right. It just looks a bit ordinary, but I haven't had any real issues with it. Of course, there are better cables to be found in this price range, but yeah, that one is serviceable indeed. I hadn't heard of SeekReal until I received these, but I do understand they have at least one other model available on Linsole. But I tell you what, people are going to know their name soon enough if they keep making IEMs like this. So with that segue, let's move right on and start talking about how these guys sound. The sound signature is on the warmer side of neutral with a boosted bass. It's got nice sultry mids and a sort of non-offensive but fairly energetic treble. Despite its smooth and organic presentation, the Airship is still detailed and clear. Its buttery tonality prevents it from being ultra detailed or expansive, but it provides a fun, engaging sound with classic dynamic driver cohesiveness and naturalness. It's the kind of IEM you can listen to all day without feeling fatigued, but you'll never feel bored with its upfront and emotive style either. Boldness combined with sophistication and spice tempered with subtlety makes the Airship one of the best IEMs in its category, in my opinion. Let's throw up the graph now. So you can see it's got a light V-shaped sound signature. And let's talk about the bass. The Airship is not shy in the lows, so you can expect a good deal of sub-bass rumble and mid-bass punch. Sub-bass notes rumble with authority and are felt as well as heard. Mid-bass notes hit with impact, yet they never feel as though they're smothering the mids. The Airship's bass lets me enjoy bass riffs with presence and texture and no sense of being scooped out or anemic. It's also wonderful for low cello notes and provides ample body to the overall sound. As for the mid-range, as we move into the mid-range, it's difficult to find any cons with what the Airship does here. One could say that electric guitars lack bite or that vocal and instrument notes are too rounded, and that would be fair. But it's these same qualities that give the Airship's mid-range its magic too. There's a richness and a warmth here that's inviting and not in the least bit offensive, even as we reach into the upper mid-range. At no point do things get shouty or sibilant, yet there's ample clarity and a good level of resolution is maintained from top to bottom. Vocals are sultry but articulate and intimate without being cloying. Neither male nor female vocals are given preference over the other. Airship does equal justice to both. And then we have the treble, which is smooth, thanks largely to a pretty big dip there. You can see between 5 kHz and 9 kHz. However, thanks to its good extension and an upper treble lift, the Airship's highs are fairly airy and spacious. Furthermore, the detail retrieval is good and the Airship will pick up everything except the smallest micro details. But perhaps the best thing about the treble is that classic dynamic timbre and naturalness. The tone sounds natural and cohesive, even if it's a bit laid back at times. Right, let's talk about the soundstage and technicalities a bit. The soundstage is about average in size, but it feels natural without being crowded in the least, even during more complex passages. Imaging is pretty good and you can get a good sense of where each instrument or sound is positioned within the space. Resolution and clarity are good as well, despite the warm tonality, and the instrument separation is solid too. Time for a couple of comparisons now, and I will start with the Let Shure S12 because this is pretty hot. It's probably the hottest I am in this price range in recent times. So the S12 here, planar magnetic driver, as you probably know. In terms of tonality, these two IEMs share some similarities, but actually they're pretty different as well. But those similarities would be a boosted bass and a reasonably smooth but detailed treble. The biggest difference might be the speed of the S12's transients and decay, giving it a slightly thinner note size and better overall resolution. Meanwhile, the Airship benefits from its natural dynamic driver, tone and cohesiveness. The S12 has slightly less sub-bass rumble, but bass notes have a faster decay, creating cleaner air between those bass notes. It's also a little more textured and has cleaner leading edges. In comparison though, the Airship has a more natural weight and thickness, making it a very fun and engaging kind of bass. The S12's mid-range is leaner, courtesy of those faster transient speeds and its extra core treble presence that gives percussion instruments a slightly sharper attack. That extra treble also provides more mid-range clarity in addition to more energetic highs. As a result, treble sensitive listeners would probably feel more comfortable with the Airship because it has a warmer tonality. The soundstage is wider on the S12 than the Airship's, but doesn't have quite as much forward depth. And now we shall look at the FiiO FH3. Now, I know that none of these other ones are a dynamic driver. I probably should have added the Moondrop Kato in here, but you know, the Kato has had more than enough love from me in recent times, so I pulled out one of my old favorites, the FiiO FH3, and I was a bit shocked by what I found actually. So the FiiO is a hybrid dual driver IEM. It's got one dynamic driver, one balanced armature. It has more of a W-shaped sound signature versus the light V of the Airship. It's more upfront and more aggressive in its presentation. Bass levels are kind of similar, but the FH3's bass is a little bit tighter. Vocals and the mid-range in general are more forward and upfront on the FH3, making it somewhat intense to listen to. Mid-range notes are slightly leaner and less rounded on the FH3 compared to the Airship. The FH3's treble is more aggressive as well, especially around 8 kHz, which I know some people find sharp and fatiguing. In comparison, the Airship's treble sounds a lot smoother. When it comes to soundstage, the Airship has a larger and kind of more natural space in the stage. I'd say the Airship has a slight edge in imaging as well, thanks to a less forward stage position, which less forward, so it's kind of back that way more, which it sort of opens up a bit more space around that center image where the vocals normally reside. Going back to what I was saying, the surprise, like for a long time, this was my favorite sub 150 for quite a long time. Listening side by side with the Airship, I do hear that kind of edginess, slight edginess in the treble that people mention sometimes. I still love the FH3, it is still brilliant, but I think it'd be a tough decision. I think I could definitely go with the Airship as a daily driver instead of the FH3, but to be honest, I would be happy with both. And with the S12 here, same again. I could easily happily live with both. Look, if I was in a noisy shopping mall or on a dinky old bus, I'd probably prefer the Airship. A little bit warmer, a little bit more body down in the lows, but in a controlled environment like my room here, the S12 is really, well, anywhere it's a great IEM. Again, I could be happy with both. I'm not going to say either one is better than the other. This one has got really organic naturalness to it. This one has just got this awesome resolution, great tonality and nice balance to it. They are all wonderful IEMs. Don't ask me which one to buy out of these, because I've just basically compared them in, pretty badly how I do. But yeah, so to sum up, the SeekReal Airship, this is a brilliant IEM, single dynamic. It's definitely in my probably top 3 at the moment, sub $200 IEMs. There are some other ones, honorable mentions that come close. Moondrop Cardo, of course, S12, FIO FH3, maybe the Audio Legacy. Which one was it? What's the custom one I had? I think that's the 4, or is it the 3? Oh my gosh. Anyway, for the price, I think this is a brilliant IEM, and definitely highly recommend it. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, Parfam audiophile style. If you're new here and you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Leave a comment down below, especially if you've got the Airship and either of these. Let me know what you think, which one is your favorite, or just let me know what you think. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.